Your 40s hit different, don't they? One day, you're cruising through your 30s thinking you've got this whole adulting thing figured out. And then suddenly, you wake up and realize you're officially middle-aged. Your back hurts from sleeping wrong. You make that weird grunt sound when you stand up from the couch, and somehow you've become the person who gets genuinely excited about a good vacuum cleaner. But here's the plot twist nobody prepared you for. Your 40s are actually when your money can start working harder for you than you work for it. If you crushed those financial milestones in your 30s, congratulations, you've built the foundation. But if you're like most people, and you're looking at your bank account thinking you should probably have more zeros by now, don't panic. And your 40s are when the real wealth-building magic happens, assuming you know what moves to make. Now, before we dive into these milestones, let me address the elephant in the room. Your 40s come with a unique set of financial pressures that would make your 20-some self weep into their ramen noodles. You might be dealing with aging parents who need financial support, teenagers who somehow require more money than small developing nations, and the creeping realization that retirement isn't some distant fantasy anymore, but an actual thing you need to prepare for. But here's what makes your 40s different from every other decade. You're finally earning peak income. You've hopefully learned from some of your earlier money mistakes, and you still have enough time for the compound interest to work its magic if you get serious about it. Now, the question is, will you use this decade to build wealth, or will you let it slip by while you're busy putting out financial fires? The first major milestone you need to conquer in your 40s is having 6 times your annual salary saved for retirement by age 50. I know that sounds like a massive number, but let's put this in perspective. If you're earning $80,000 annually, which is roughly the median household income for people in their 40s, you need $480,000 in retirement accounts by your 50th birthday. Remember that this includes everything: your 401k, your IRA, any pension benefits, and even that old retirement account from the job you had 5 years ago that you keep meaning to roll over. The reason this number matters so much is that it puts you on track to have 10 times your salary saved by retirement age. Which is what most financial experts agree you need to maintain your lifestyle without working. Here's where the math gets interesting. If you hit that 6 times salary milestone by 50 and continue contributing just 15% of your income, compound interest does most of the heavy lifting for the next 17 years. That $480,000 could grow to over $1.6 million by age 67, assuming modest 7%. Doesn't seem so impossible, does it? But if you're behind on this milestone, and honestly most people are, your 40s become crucial catch-up years. The good news is that once you turn 50, the government lets you make additional catch-up contributions to retirement accounts. We're talking an extra $7,000 annually in your 401k and an extra $1,000 in your IRA.
To turbocharge your retirement savings just when you need it most.
The second milestone is achieving complete debt freedom, except for your mortgage. Notice the exception for your mortgage. Because let's be realistic here. Most people in their 40s still have 15 to 20 years left on their home loans, and trying to pay off a mortgage while also maximizing retirement contributions.
And possibly funding college educations is like trying to juggle flaming chainsaws while riding a unicycle.
But everything else needs to go. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, that personal loan you took out to consolidate other debt 3 years ago.
All of it. Your 40s are when you should be in full wealth building mode. And debt payments are like having a financial anchor tied to your ankle
while you're trying to swim to shore. Let me paint you a picture of what debt freedom looks like in practical terms. Let's say you're currently paying $600 a month in car payments.
$300 for student loans, and another $200 minimum on credit cards. That's $1,100 every single month that disappears forever.
Over a decade, that's $132,000 that could have been building wealth instead of making other people wealthy. But here's where it gets really painful. If you invested that $1,100 monthly in a major index earning 8% annually, after 10 years, you'd have over $200,000. After 20 years, you'd have over $650,000. That's the real cost of debt in your 40s, not just the money you're paying now.
But all the compound growth you're giving up for the next 2 decades.
The third milestone is building a fortress emergency fund. In your 30s, 6 months of expenses was probably adequate.
In your 40s, you need to think bigger. We're talking about 9 to 12 months of living expenses, possibly more if you're self-employed.
Or work in an industry prone to layoffs.
Why the increase? Because your 40s come with more expensive emergencies. Your house decides the roof needs replacing.
Right before your daughter's senior year of high school, your teenager needs emergency orthodontic work that insurance doesn't fully cover.
Your aging father falls and needs home modifications so he can age in place safely.
Or maybe, and this is actually a good problem to have, an incredible investment opportunity comes along that requires quick action. According to recent government data, the median emergency fund for people in their 40s is about $14,000. That might sound decent, until you realize that the average monthly expenses for households in this age group are around $5,000.
So most people have less than 3 months of expenses saved, which is nowhere near adequate for this stage of life.
The key is keeping this money somewhere that can earn decent interest, but still be immediately accessible when life throws you curveballs. High-yield savings accounts currently offer around 4 to 5%, which isn't going to make you rich, but at least helps your emergency fund keep pace with inflation.
While it sits there waiting to rescue you from whatever crisis come next.
The fourth milestone might surprise you: developing multiple income streams beyond your primary job.
Your 40s are when you should be thinking strategically about income diversification. Not because your job is necessarily at risk, but because relying on a single source of income in today's economy is like building your house on a foundation of wishful thinking. The beautiful thing about building multiple income streams in your 40s is that you have decades of experience and expertise to draw from. You're not starting from scratch like someone in their 20s. You understand your industry. You have professional networks.
Others. And you've developed skills that other people will pay for.
It might mean teaching your teenagers about investing and money management so they don't make the same financial mistakes you did.
If you learned something new today, subscribe for more simple finance stories. Educational purposes only, not financial advice.